Start the Zoom call with the former world title challenger, who has won 2 in a row. Most recently, you have seen him defeat Sonny Fredrickson via 10-round decision inside the bubble, and he's won 2 in a row again since he challenging Maurice Hooker back in November 2018. So please welcome to the call, Alex Saucedo. Alex, are you there, sir?
Hello, guys. Yes. Thank you for having me.
Alex, before we get to the questions, and again, use the raise hand button, or privately use the private chat mechanism, or if you can't figure either of those out, just text me and I'll get you in the chat queue. So Alex, before we go with the questions, as we mentioned, you've had 2 fights since the Maurice Hooker fight. You just came off a big win a couple months back. How has your confidence risen with those 2 wins coming off the Maurice Hooker fight in November 2018?
I feel like my last fight with Fredrickson, it was kind of like our first fight with my new team. We had Rasaka fight, but that was like a 1-round knockout, so I don't think that counts. So this last fight with Fredrickson, we were able to see a lot of things that we needed to work on and actually know each other more, as a team. And we put on it was a good performance, but we learned a lot from that fight that we came into this camp and try to figure the things out and make it better so we can go out and perform better on Saturday night.
And thank you, Alex. We had a couple late arrivals. So as I mentioned, if you'd like to ask a question, click the raise hand button or send me a question privately in the chat. So we are going to kick off first with our friend from ESPN Deportes, Salvador Rodriguez. Salvador, please go ahead when ready.
Hello, Evan. How are you?
Salvador, go ahead, sir. How you been?
Thank you so much. I want to ask in Spanish for Alex, please.
Perfect.
Alex.
So, Alex, 1 second. I'm going to unmute Gardy Lopez, who will translate in Spanish. So both Salvador and Alex, please wait until Gardy translates until before you begin.
Ok, perfecto. Alex, un placer saludarte. Primero, ¿cómo ves la situación en esta división? ¿Qué tan cerca estás de ir por un título del mundo? Y el hecho de pelear en una cartelera tan importante y tan grande como es Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez, lo que representa para ti el hecho de estar en esta cartelera que todo el mundo va a estar viendo.
Hello, Alex, what do you think about the situation in the division? It's a red hot division right now. And also, what do you think about being in such a big card like Lomachenko and Lopez?
In Spanish or English?
In Spanish, Alex, please.
Oh, okay. No, ¿qué dices, Salvador? Mucho gusto. Pues esta pelea significa mucho para mí para volver para volver a estar en nivel de campeonato otra vez. Yo creo que una gran victoria nos llevaría otra vez a estar en ese nivel. Significa mucho para mí estar en esta cartelera, claro, porque pues va a haber es una de las carteleras más grandes del año, si no la cartelera más grande del año, y pues estar ahí y enseñar lo que traigo y representar a Oklahoma y Chihuahua es para mí pues un gran honor y estoy listo para salir y darles una gran victoria.
Being in such a big card is a big opportunity for me. I'm very excited for it. Like a big win on such a big card will put me right away in the division top names and right around the corner for a world title shot. I'm very proud of representing OKC, Oklahoma, and Mexico. So, I'm eager to show everyone what I can do, what I'm bringing to the ring.
Thank you very much, Gardy. And next, we go to Danny, all the way from the United Kingdom. Danny Flexen, please unmute and go ahead when ready.
Hi, Alex. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, Danny?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I wanted to ask you, you've built up a huge fan base in Oklahoma. You thrive off the energy of the crowd. How is this with no fans or a limited number of fans in attendance going to affect you? Do you think it might actually help in a way that you won't get caught up in the emotion?
No, I mean, the last fight that I had with Fredrickson was my first fight in the bubble. I didn't feel much difference because I mentally got ready for that, you know, throughout training camp. We had a long training camp for that fight as well for this one, but through training camp, you know, I visualized myself in the ring and like, you know, when I was sparring, it was like, this is how it's going to be. So I try to mentally get ready for it. You know, it's a little different, but I'll be ready for it.
And do you think it might benefit you in a way because you won't get caught up in the emotion of the fans and do things that maybe aren't sensible during the fight?
Not at all. No, I mean, it's just the new team that I have has, you know, has worked a lot on that. And I believe, I mean, the work that they have been doing is incredible, and I feel very, you know, very good going into this fight like that.
Thank you very much. And again, we have another UK fan. And again, for everybody on the line, UK fight fans will be able to watch this fight on the Fight TV app, available for £9.99, which is about 13 American dollars. So a very good deal there. Jonathan Nagoff, I've asked to unmute. Please unmute yourself and ask Alice a question when ready.
Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Hey, Jonathan. Good. How's it going?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. Last time we spoke, you spoke about the regret you had from the Maurice Hooker fight. How much of that experience, though, fighting for a world title will play a factor going into Saturday night?
No, it's everything. It's everything. I mean, I gotta show myself, and I gotta show my fans, you know, what I'm really all about. I mean, that fight, you know, it brought a lot of things down, and you know, getting a big performance, big win this Saturday night will put me back up there.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. We got a lot of questions, so I'm gonna keep it to one question per person. So we go over to Southern California, which is right around the corner from where Alex is right now. Miguel Maravilla. Miguel, please go ahead when ready, sir.
Hey, Alex, how's it going? First of all, you were, when we talked and probably about a year ago, you were really excited about the new team, about training with Pedro Nema. How's that coming along? How's the progress? Do you feel that you still need more to improve on coming into this fight? And how tough is Barboza?
I mean, we definitely saw a lot of things that we could improve on my last fight. Like I said, it was our first fight, you know, going a distance, going 10 rounds. So we all learned from each other from that fight. And we came back into training camp and worked on the things that we saw I needed to work on. So I believe Saturday night, you guys will see a difference of Saucedo still. And, you know, the same Saucedo putting the pressure and stuff, but you know, more intelligent in there, using more jabs, lateral movements. And Barboza's he's an undefeated guy, man. It's not, you know, it's gonna be a tough fight, but I gotta go out there and get an impressive win for myself.
Thank you very much. Adriana Jimenez from Fino Boxing. Please ask to unmute, so please unmute and ask your question when ready. Adriana, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Hey, Alex, how you doing? I know that in the past you have been calling out Jose Ramirez, and now that fight with Ramirez and Josh Taylor is in the works, do you feel that with an emphatic win this Saturday, it can give you an opportunity to fight the winner between that fight?
I mean, I just want to fight the champions, but hopefully it does happen. You know, if they unify or don't unify, the fight between me and Ramirez will happen. And I mean, if it doesn't happen now, it's gonna happen sometime. I mean, we're both young. We both, you know, want to fight each other. So that fight's gonna happen either after this fight, either later on. It's gonna happen.
Thank you very much, Adriana. Next, we will go to Joshua from 8-6 Boxing. Josh, please fire ahead when ready.
Thanks. Hey, Alex. So prior to at least 2019, you had been fighting about 3 times per year. Then you had those 2 hard fights in 2018 with Zapavinia and Hooker, of course, and you fought once in 2019 and so far once in 2020. Physically, how do you feel? Do you feel you're where you're at, and what has this sort of break in between the Hooker and Zapavinia fight been good for you overall for your body?
No, definitely. I felt like I needed to take that time off and make sure I got back with the right team and with the right things that I needed for my career. I took a year off, but it wasn't a year off boxing. It was just a year off of me learning more and working with the new team. So I feel like it helped a lot, and you know, I'm hungrier than ever and ready to perform.
All right, thank you very much. Again, we got Alex for a few more minutes. Arnold Barboza is waiting in the queue, so Alex, he can hear everything you're saying, and we'll have Arnold on in a couple minutes. So if anybody else would like to ask a question of Alex, again, please privately message me in the chat, or use the raise hand button, or shoot me a text message, and we will get you immediately over in the queue. So just we'll wait 1 second for that. All right, looks like Danny Flexen has one more question, so we're going to go back to the UK. Danny, please unmute and go ahead when ready, sir. Looks like Danny. Danny, there you go.
I'm here.
Go ahead when ready, Danny.
Thank you. Someone in a previous question mentioned Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor, and your ambitions to fight the winner. Just thought it'd be worth asking who you think will come out on top in that fight and why.
You know, I think it's a really good fight. I was going for Ramirez because you know, the body shots and this and that, but their last performances, you know, just kind of changed everything. So I just think it's a really good fight. I mean, it's a really good fight for the 140 division. It's very hot right now. It's on fire. So no, may the best man win, and looking forward to fighting any of those guys.
Thank you.
All righty. We will have one more for Alex, and we just find got to scroll through here. We are going to go to Ernesto Amador. He will ask the question both Spanish and English. So Alex, you can answer in Spanish, and we have Ernesto. He's very bilingual, so he will translate. Ernesto Amador, please go ahead when ready, sir.
Okay, thanks, Evan. What do you prefer, to ask first in English or Spanish? What do you prefer?
You could just do it in both. However you want to do it, Ernesto. The floor is yours.
There you go, sir. Cholo, un placer saludarte. Una pelea muy importante con Arnold Barboza. Dicen que en el boxeo ustedes dos no tienen reversa y que seguramente se van a robar la noche, pero también está complicado por lo que les dejó la pelea de Cepeda y Baranchik. Cholo, it's good to see you. Some people in boxing mentioned that you and Arnold, they don't have reverse. So you go to have a fight in the middle of the ring. But the thing is that, of course, Cepeda and Baranchik, they give you an example to a great fight. So it's going to be complicated to be over than that.
¿Qué dice Ernesto? ¿Cómo estamos? Y pues yo creo que en esta pelea es donde voy a poder demostrar de verdad quién es Alex Saucedo y lo que hemos estado entrenando con el nuevo equipo. La gente dice que va a ser una guerra y no sé qué, pero vamos a ver el sábado en la noche. Hay que demostrar todo lo que he estado trabajando con mi equipo y no, estoy listo para salir y demostrar grandes cosas, ya sea lo que sea.
What about Cepeda Baranchik fight? ¿Qué opinas de lo que dejaron ellos, Cepeda y Baranchik? En español y en inglés, por favor. English and Spanish, please.
No, pues fue una pelea emocionante. Fue una pelea emocionante que, ¿verdad? Pues yo creo después de que noquearon a Baranchik, todos nos quedamos, pues, que wow, fue increíble también, pues, como se quedó ahí tirado, pero son cosas del boxeo y fue una pelea impresionante que, pues, en verdad le dejó saber lo que es el boxeo y como dice usted, Ernesto, pues que no se puede jugar boxeo.
Okay, both answers in English now, please, Cholo.
No, I feel like the Baranchik and Cepeda fight was a very exciting fight for all the boxing fans. you know, we learned in that fight that you cannot play boxing for sure. It was an exciting fight for all the boxing fans, and looking forward to my fight and you know, bringing excitement as well.
Well, thank you, Ernesto. And again, thank you very much, Alex. As a reminder, he'll be in the main event against Arnold Barboza Jr. So live from Southern California via Oklahoma City in Mexico, we thank Alex Saucedo for joining us on the call. Arnold, are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
There he is. I think Alex is waiting around a little bit before he logs off. Can you talk about, obviously, you've been a pro about 7 years. So you've taken step by step. Can you talk about the excitement you feel against by far the most notable opponent of your career, and on by far what is the biggest platform of your career?
Yeah, you know, you said it. It's been hard work getting here. You know, we really started from the bottom. I think me and Saucedo started from the bottom. You know, I remember him on the Unimas shows. We were on a few cards together. You know, real cool dude. From, like, I think we talked like once maybe. But I'm excited, man. You know, just like he's excited to show, you know, what he's been working on. I'm excited to show what I've been working on.
And thank you, Arnold, for joining us. And just a reminder to everybody in the chat, we got a very big press turnout here. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you'd like to ask a question, again, 3 options: raise hand button, private chat, or if you can't figure those out, just text me and I will get to you as best I can. We are going to start off the Arnold Barboza Jr. portion of the Q&A all the way from suburban, sunny Cleveland, Ohio, with Carlos Toro. Carlos, please go ahead. Carlos Toro. All right.
Sorry, my bad.
it is your bad, Carlos, and I will dock no questions for the next 3 calls. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, Carlos.
Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us, Arnold. You know, obviously you've had your last fight a couple of months ago at the bubble. Where do you kind of grade yourself on that performance? And do you believe that type of performance will be enough against Alex Saucedo, or do you think that is going to be a better, or do you feel like you need to be better heading into this fight against Alex?
Well, you know, I think it's going to need to be better, you know, because Alex is on another level than Tony Lewis was. You know, so we worked on a lot, came to the gym, worked on a lot of things that we needed to work on, because we made some mistakes that we didn't like. So it's going to be definitely going to be a different fight. You're not going to see the same fight that's for sure.
See, I almost forgot to press the unmute button. We will go back to Miguel Maravilla, who has his hand up. Miguel, please go ahead when ready, sir.
What's up, Arnold? First of all, how has this preparation come along, and this fight with Saucedo? Obviously, there's bigger things coming, right? With a win, let's say a victory here, there's bigger things to come, correct?
Yeah. You know, preparation was good, man. I mean, I think it was great. You know, we took a week off and we got right back into it. So the weight wasn't like, the weight's never an issue, you know, but it was just way easier, you know. So it's just, you know, it was a good camp, man, a great camp, you know, conditioning is perfect. So I just can't wait, man. Like you said, after this fight, you know, there's bigger things to come. So, but, you know, I don't really look in the future, you know, I look now, you know, because if I don't take care of Saucedo, then there's no bigger plans, you know. So I don't care about bigger plans, and I don't care what people say about bigger plans. I have to take care of what's in front of me on Saturday.
Thank you very much. Adriana Jimenez, you are back on, so please ask a question of Arnold when ready.
Hi, Arnold. We're used to seeing Saucedo in war-type fights. What do you have to do to make it your type of fight?
You know, Saucedo, you know, all his fights are wars. Even if he kind of thinks he changed a little bit, it's still the same, you know. But like, you know, we train for everything. You know, we train for whatever fight he wants to do. It's gonna be our fight. You know, everyone wants to talk about, you know, their game plans against me. I hear it every fight. You know, I'll break them down, get him later rounds, do this. It never happens. We're prepared, you know, we're prepared. We have a good game plan. My father put a perfect game plan together. So I think a lot of people are going to be surprised.
All right, thank you very much, Adriana. And we go now to Jeremy Harridges from Fansided. Jeremy, please go ahead, sir.
Hi, Arnold. Thank you for the time today. Looking at your body of work and all the different fighters that you've competed against, do you consider this your toughest bout? Is this your toughest opponent to date in Alex Saucedo?
Oh, of course. I mean, he fought for a world title. You know what I mean? It says a lot. You know, of course, this is my toughest, opponent to date. You know, he's done some good things in the ring. He's very tough, man, very strong. So I'm excited, because, I want to see where I'm at as well. I know I got heart. I know I got everything to beat him, but, on Saturday it's going to come together, and I feel like, I'm finally going to get my respect in the division.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And next, we will go back to the UK with Jonathan Nagyoff. Jonathan, please go ahead when ready, sir.
Cheers, Evan. Hey, Arnold. How you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
Yeah, good, thanks. You wanted Alex Saucedo when we last spoke. What is it about Saucedo that made you want to fight him so much? Is it only getting yourself in towards that world title position?
Yeah, and also, his style. I feel like my style and his style bring out the best in both of us. I feel like, we both need each other in sort of sense, some sense, he wants to get back to where he was, and I'm trying to get to where he was at, when he fought for the belt, so that's the big reason why, because, the whole mess with Taylor and Ramirez and them being undisputed, that's going to take some time. So, I mean, why not, cement ourselves, for sure, get a title shot, after this fight. So that's what, that's the big reason why.
Thank you very much. Again, in order to ask a question, please go ahead to the raise hand mechanism on your chat, send me a private message, or shoot me a text if you can't do either one. So we are going to go to Victor Emmanuel Rodriguez from Puerto Rico. Victor, unmute, please.
Hello, Barboza. I'm from Victor Emmanuel from El Bocas. You're entering your prime years. I know you cannot outlook every fight, but you're fighting in a worldwide platform. If you win this fight, which would you like to fight next? Because we know Ramirez and Taylor are going to fight for the undisputed. And on the meantime, which fight would you like to have? Will be more exciting for you?
I don't think a next fight is going to be as exciting as this one. Saucedo is going to bring out the best in me. I need my whole 100% with him. Out of respect for him and myself, actually. I don't like to really think about the future. No disrespect to you either. But we gotta focus on Saucedo, and I'm not really thinking ahead. Because like I said, you can't think ahead, because if you don't win, it's meaningless. So I'm just thinking about Saucedo.
And Arnold, is it tough to when you have a lot, when you have such a hot division at 140? Is it tough? Because you get so many questions about Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor fighting the winner, but you have a really tough guy in front of you. Is it tough when you keep hearing these questions about future fights, yet you have such a formidable guy in front of you?
Yeah, man, it's kind of frustrating, It's like every fight though, like they ask the same thing. Jose Ramirez comes up and Josh Taylor always come up, but we're basically in a line, you know what I mean? And our division's so stacked. You got Pedraza, you got my boy Cepeda, who just cemented himself, I think, so it's a stacked division, man. And we're just basically all in a line waiting for Ramirez and Taylor. That's what it comes down to. I don't think any of us are really ever going to fight them unless, we move up with one of them or something. But yeah, man, I'd rather, just focus on what's in front of me.
Well, Alex, I know you have to get to training, so I don't want to keep any longer. Yeah. I don't want to keep it any longer. But before you get there, any closing words you'd like to say as we approach 4 days out and a couple more training sessions away from the fight? Any last words you'd like to say?
Nah, man, just, I'm excited. I know he's excited. And if he's listening, man, let's have a great fight. Let's put a good fight for the fans, and see them Saturday.
Thank you very much, Arnold, and best of luck Saturday night. We will see you in the
All
bubble. 5-0 with 3 knockouts. He is already a contender for Prospect of the Year, if you consider him a prospect. And there was an article on Ring TV today saying he should be considered on the ballot, at least, for Fighter of the Year. He is currently, he's also a professional MMA fighter who is currently signed to the PFL, which is also broadcast on the ESPN family of networks. And he has 3 wins over previously undefeated prospects in 2020. He will fight Quincy Lavalier in an 8-round middleweight fight on the Undercard broadcast in a rematch of a June 2019 draw, which I'm sure as he'll tell you, he felt was an unjust draw. So he's looking to take the 4th undefeated record of the year. Please welcome to the chat, Cassius Clay Collard. Cassius, you started this year, relatively unknown to the boxing fans. Can you talk about sort of the wild ride that you've been on here in 2020?
Yeah, man, it's just been, it's been amazing. I'm fighting often, and I'm fighting, tough opponents, and I'm loving all the, all the fans and all the love that I've been getting from them. So it's just exciting, man. I'm just looking to go collect this guy's own, man.
And before we get to the questions, and we got a bunch in the queue already. When you fought Quincy Lavalier, he's from Kenner, Louisiana. The bout was in nearby New Orleans, but it was not a lot of people probably have seen that bout or on the chat. From your vantage point, can you tell everybody what you remember from that fight, and how, and obviously you think you deserve to win, but how badly you thought you were robbed in that fight?
Yeah, so I thought it was 5 rounds to 1. He might have got 1. I don't know. He was landing these big, ugly, slappy. None of them were really like a clean shot on me. They were just big and slappy. Those are the only really good shots that he landed. I was just sticking my punches straight, and I remember during the fight, I threw a straight right and caught him clean, and he kind of slapped me with that slappy overhand that he threw. And all the fans made like a big, oh, because I guess it looks good. I don't know. But I remember looking at him in the fight and talking to him, be like, I got you. You didn't get me. I got you, So, man, I thought I had it 5 rounds to 1. It was like my second or third, I think my 3rd boxing match, professional boxing match, 3rd or 4th, something like that. So I was still fairly new to professional boxing and kind of getting in the swing of things. So, I thought I was on that night. I was landing shots. I was really active. I remember even the commissioner came up to us and was like, "Hey, nice win." And we're like, "We didn't win, man." And he was just like, "What? You didn't win? What? Where was I?" So I don't know, man. He was cool with me after we talked, but before the fight, they made a big deal about him and his coach, and just, he was the hometown kid, and I wasn't, and I think that played a part in it. So.
Well, thank you, Clay. And we got a bunch of questions, so we're going to start with Jake Donovan. See, Jake Donovan, he was a little tardy to the call, but he saw the schedule, so he joined for Clay Collard. Jake, please go ahead when ready, sir.
Thanks, Evan. I greatly appreciate that introduction. Clay, just picking up on where you left off, how important was it for you to get this fight back on the radar?
I've been calling myself the O collector. I've been collecting all these people's O's, and I had a shot to get his once, and I guess I fell short. So it's gonna be good to get that back and collect his O and take another undefeated record. So.
And definitely, and obviously, everyone's caught on to just what you've been able to accomplish. But how different of a fighter are you from when you fought him last year? I know you thought you won, but just like how much better do you believe you are than that?
Oh man, it's night and day. Yeah, night and day, man. I was still kind of figuring out how to box again, you know. The range is different, the timing is different than mixed martial arts, you know. Mixed martial arts, I can stay a little further away and throw a kick, or, you know. So just being in that phone box, you know, that phone booth and fighting is completely different. And so I'm just getting back into the swing of things, man. I think he's gonna have a tough night, so he's gonna be in trouble.
Thank you very much, Jake. And we now move on to Cynthia Conte from Ring and a bunch of other outlets. Cynthia, welcome, and please go ahead.
Hi, Collard. You know what? I can attest to the Fighter of the Year because I remember Doug Fisher did mention that to me, and now the cat is out of the bag. So congratulations, and hopefully you do get voted in. But you know, you became a boxing sensation for 2020 in the whole pandemic and in the bubble. You are extremely wildly entertaining. The way you fight is very unconventional, but it's very fan friendly. Coming into this fight, can you show us anything different, or is your fighting style just to make a show and obviously win? What can you do different this time in the ring?
From previous fights or from the last time I fought him?
This fight, your fight coming into this.
You know, we've been working. I mean, I've been working my boxing a lot. So, man, I'm always going to be a fan favorite fighter. That's why I do this. You know, I want to put on a show, and I'm not going to go out there and be a sissy about it. You know, I'm going to go out there and fight. So, yeah, I mean, I've been working on my boxing, so I hope that I look a little different. I guess I really don't know how to answer that. I'm me, man. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna smash you. That's what I do.
Thank you very much, Cynthia. And we now go ahead to Marcos Villegas. Marcos, please go ahead when ready, sir.
Hey, Clay, how's it going, man? Two questions for you. One is, what do you attribute most, you feel, to the success that you've had coming from MMA and now notching all these wins against, at first, you know, undefeated blue chip prospects and now pretty solid guys?
Man, I would just have to say my coach had a lot to do with that, and just, you know, I've matured. I was a wild kid, you know, in my early 20s. I was wild, so I've just matured and really, you know, calmed down, and just all I do is focus on my training now, and I listen to my coach. So
the second part is, you know, you're an MMA fighter, and you're having success in boxing. What do you think it says to the evolution of MMA fighters now, seeing that you are having success against guys that on paper are better than you technically, that would seem, but you're able to get them out of there?
Man, I'm a fighter. I wouldn't say that I'm a MMA fighter. You know, I started boxing way before I ever started mixed martial arts. So, I mean, I started boxing when I was 11 years old. So, you know, I hope that the sport of MMA is evolving. I still think their hands are far behind pure boxers. But that's it's just me getting back to my roots, man. You know, I was a boxer way before I ever started mixed martial arts. So I'm not really sure, man. I the game, having more MMA fighters cross over, but I don't know if they'll have the same success I had. So
we go next to Marquise Johns. Sorry, I muted Clay for a quick second there. Marquise, please go ahead when ready.
No problem, Evan. Thanks a lot. Hey, Clay, we've spoken before about you mentioning MMA and fighting in general, and I just wanted to ask you, with this training with boxing all year round this year, do you have plans going back to MMA sometime in January still, and how is the gym looking out?
So my gym's about done. We've kind of run into a few hiccups with this virus and stuff. So my gym's coming along great. I definitely plan on going back and fighting for the PFL. I gave my word that I would do that, and I'm a man of my word. So I plan on winning that $1 million, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll come back to boxing. I've been loving boxing, so.
$1 million sounds nice, Clay. And Jeremy Harridges, you're up, so please go ahead when ready.
Hi, Clay. Kind of looking at your record, I think it's deceptive. At the stats have you as a 28% knockout puncher, yet 3 out of your last 4 fights you've registered a knockout. Do you think it's now that your maturity as a boxer is allowing you to get these knockouts? How do you account for the numbers that you're piling up right now?
I definitely think that all the boxing I've been doing has helped. I think a lot of guys have a really great knockout percentage because they're fighting chumps. It's easy to knock out chumps. So that's one thing. This guy I'm fighting, man, he's got like 9 knockouts or something like that, but he's fighting 50-50 records, man. So I think they need to step up in competition, man, and there might not be as many knockouts, but I really feel like I've starting to find my rhythm and my timing, and my coach has been working on my power since day one. So
how specifically have you been working on your power, and how have you been improving it? What are some of the things you've been doing?
At first, man, it was a lot of like strength training. My coach called me skinny fat when I first started working with him. But yeah, just a lot of strength training, and then learning how to sit down on my punches and take the right angles to land a clean shot, man. Just, working on our boxing, man.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. And now we go to Xavier Porter. Please go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Evan. Appreciate you. You're controlling the matrix right now.
I tried.
Right now. Mr. Cassius, question for you. Will you be, if Saturday, if you're successful with your fight, will you further your career with boxing as well as PFL? And also, can you explain the difference between the MMA piece as well as the boxing? Everything that goes into it.
What was the last part of that question? You kind of broke up.
Okay, can you explain the training that goes into boxing and from boxing to MMA? And if you're successful on Saturday with the win, will you go forward with your boxing career?
Yeah, so I definitely want to keep dabbling in both, man. It's I think it sets me apart from other fighters. As far as the training goes, I'm a striker, so I'm gonna try to box regardless. When it comes to training mixed martial arts, I'm doing a lot of takedown defense and a lot of getting back up off the ground so I can get where I'm comfortable, and that's punching people in the face. So
next we go to Gail. I'm going to butcher your last name, Gail, but Gail, go ahead.
You don't even need to go there. Thank you very much, Clay. What do you think it is about you that has captured the imagination of the fans during this crazy year? And what do you think Top Rank sees in you as a fan-friendly product? How is that all coming together, do you think?
I think a lot of it has to do with my story. I kind of have that Rocky story, the guy that's not supposed to win that shows up and does it anyway. And then, I think I captured the fans because I'm exciting. I don't fight necessarily safe, I guess. I'm going in there for the kill nonstop. So I think they just like to see that,
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gail. And now we go to Miguel Maravilla again. So Miguel, please unmute and ask your question. Miguel.
Hey, Clay, how's it going? First of all, you mentioned how you're much mature now from the first time you fought this guy. You know, you've had much more experience since then, and the confidence is obviously high. Do you feel that's going to be the difference in this fight?
Yeah, I think the difference in this fight is the level of opponents that I've been fighting compared to the level of opponents he's been fighting. You know, I've been in there with, I mean, David Kaminsky was a monster. You know, I fought the captain of the USC Olympic team. I fought, you know, the Olympic gold medalist. Like, I've just been fighting way better competition than him. And I think that's going to be the difference. And yet, and I'm more mature, especially when it comes to boxing. I've learned so much, especially in all those matches with those, you know, high level guys. I've just learned so much, and I just keep learning and growing. And so I think that's going to be what sets it apart.
Thank you very much, Miguel. Clay's got a few more minutes, and we got to let him run. Again, or use the raise hand button on Zoom or send me a private message. We now go ahead. It's a couple more questions for Clay until Jose Vargas gets here. So we now go ahead to Victor Rodriguez. Victor, please unmute and go ahead.
Thank you. Clay, you are the vivid example of capitalizing opportunities in very difficult times. You're like the example of human resiliency, how it feels to be in this position. And how would you describe in one word your 2020?
In one word, you know, it's just hard work, man. I've been working hard nonstop for years at this, man, and it's just finally starting to pay off, you know. No matter how tough the times get, man, you just got to keep pushing forward, and that's what I've done. You know, I've just haven't stopped working. If I could do my 2020 in one word, I'd say surprising.
What I mean, and just to follow up on that, we have Jose coming in a couple minutes. I mean, what's been the most surprising part? I mean, obviously nobody could have foreseen the pandemic and everything that went to it. But is it the fact that, you know, you had the one fight and then you beat a top ranked prospect and then they invite you back? Was that surprising? Or, you know, after you beat Kaminsky, how quickly did you get a sense that, okay, they're going to bring me back?
It was like right after Kaminsky, you know, I got out of the ring and they're like, we want you back. So, you know, I think I surprised myself in what I'm capable of and what I can do. And that's why I say it's surprising. It's surprising to me, you know, especially with all the exposure and the fans and the people getting behind me. It's all just like, whoa, all this is real, you know? So, yeah, it's just surprising, man. I surprised myself, and I'm surprised by all the love from the fans, and Top Rank surprised me, man. Did I ever even think I would be fighting on Top Rank? No, not in a million years. I was an MMA fighter, but the way things played out, man, this is where I'm at, and I'm loving every minute of it. So,
and we do have another question from Marcos Villegas, who, again, I think is going to follow up about the story that was in Ring today, and I know it's something he's spoken about himself. Marcos, please go ahead.
Yeah, Clay, you know, I know it's been said, you know, there's a possibility of you being Prospect of the Year, and the other possibility, which I really do feel it's a realistic possibility of you becoming Fighter of the Year, given your upset wins, given the wins that you had. You know, what would that mean to you to be Fighter of the Year? And do you feel that you are the leading candidate to be Fighter of the Year?
I mean, I don't think anybody's doing what I'm doing this year or has done what I've been doing this year. I'm just happy to even be in the thought, you know. I'm happy that people are even giving me that credit. So there's a lot of great boxers out there that are winning belts and you know, doing a lot of great things. I think I've done a lot myself. So, you know, I think it's up to the people and up to the fans. So.
All right, thank you, Marcos. We have another question here. The questions keep coming for Cassius Clay. Cynthia Conte, another question. Please go ahead.
Cassius Clay, you just mentioned that you didn't believe that you would even fight on Top Rank, but now can you believe that you're fighting on not just a Top Rank card, but you're fighting on a Loma versus Lopez card? This is the card that every boxing fan has been longing for, and you're fighting on the undercard. Talk about what that means to you.
Man, it's great, honestly. I've watched Lomachenko since I was like kid, you know. I remember looking him up on YouTube being like, this guy's crazy. So just the fact that I'm even, you know, on the same stage as him, it means the world to me. Yeah, it's just so great, man. I'm just so happy about it. I just hope that everything works out and we can get this done.
And a follow-up, gotta ask, what's your prediction for that fight, Lomachenko or Lopez?
I'm taking Lomachenko. I don't know when or how, but Lomachenko's taking the win.
That's like you.
Thank you, Cynthia. We've got, again, a couple more minutes with Clay. So if there's any final questions before we get to Josue and Edgar, please go ahead. And then I'll just wait one more second. All right, looks like Xavier Porter's got one more question. So Xavier, I've unmuted. Please go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Cassius Clay, can you let us know your thoughts on your name?
My name?
The nickname, right, Xavier?
Yeah, my nickname. It used to be Blackout, man. They used to call me Clay Blackout Caller because my first fight, I knocked a kid out in like 12 seconds. And I had that for a little while until I got with this promotion and the promoter just didn't like it. And I was like, there's only one other nickname that I'll take. And that's because my name is Clay, you know, Cassius Clay. And, you know, I want to be one of the greatest at this. You know, I believe I can be. And so I think it's fitting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Xavier. Clay, we're going to let you run. I know you just took a very early morning flight from Idaho to get in here today. So before we let you go, any closing thoughts? As we announced, your fight's going to be on both ESPN Plus and regular ESPN. So just before you go, any final thoughts about the year in general, about the attention, about everything coming into this fight?
Nah, I just hope you enjoy it, man. I'm gonna go out there and do my thing, and you know, I hope the fans enjoy it. That's why I do this, is for you guys. And God bless America.
Thank you. Hey, well, that's a good way to sign off, Clay. That's a great way to sign off, Clay. Thank you very much for joining us today. And a reminder, rematch, Quincy Lavalier. Of the June 2019 draw. Looks like we have the super middleweight sensation from Brooklyn, 14-0, 14 knockouts, 14 first-round knockouts. He will open up the main card, which begins at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, ESPN Deportes, and the Plus, ESPN Plus, from Brooklyn, New York, vis-a-vis Puerto Rico. He's fighting Linnell Bellows, who has never been knocked out as a professional. So his toughest test today. Please welcome Edgar Berlanga. Edgar, thank you for joining us today. Can you tell everybody on the call, so your mindset coming into what is on paper by far your biggest test today?
My mindset is like always, you know, I worked hard in the gym, man, and that's what every fighter should be doing, you know. And like, as far as for me, man, you know, just putting in the hard work in the gym, so that way I know going into the fight, my mind is 100% prepared to go those rounds, you know, if we ever do, which will eventually happen, you know. And I've just been working extremely hard.
You know, you've talked about it, right? It's like you talked about preparing to go the rounds, even though you've never been past the first round. I mean, how tough is it when you've never gone past the first round to have that mindset that, I have to train for 8, 10, 12 rounds if need be?
You have to have, first, you have to be humble. And 2, you have to know that it's going to come. I know that I'm not going to be able to rely on my power, So this is why, like I said, I always say, I train as if I'm fighting for a championship fight every fight. I got my strength and conditioning coach here at Scooter as well, that he pushes me every single day in the gym, to that level. So that way, when we go those extra rounds, all the critics that's been talking like, oh, we want to see him in the 4th, we want to see him in the 2nd, we want to see him in the 8th. It's gonna be a walk in the park, because of my conditioning.
And our first question, we go to Mark Wicker from down Southern California. Mark, please go ahead when ready, sir.
Hi, what do you know about this particular guy, and what challenges do you think he might bring you that might get you to show more of your repertoire?
He's gonna come right at me. He's that type of fighter. He's smaller than me. He's a smaller guy, so I know he's gonna bring the pressure. He's gonna try to bring the fight to me. I don't see him trying to box me because I'm the bigger man. That'll just be real stupid of him and a crazy game plan if they're trying to do that. Unless they're trying to just survive the first round. But he's 20-5 with 13 knockouts. He's been in the ring for a very long time. He's older than me. He has experience. He's a veteran. And man, I'm ready in there to go and do what I do best, man.
Thank you.
I have to remember to unmute myself in order to get the questions going. So thank you, Mark. And now we go to Carlos Toro. Carlos, please go ahead when ready.
Thank you, Edgar, for taking time to talk to us. I don't know how much you pay attention to the sanctioning bodies rankings, but you're ranked number 9 by the WBO and number 11 by the WBA. Is that something that you kind of look at and think to yourself that maybe you could be maybe down the road closer to a world title shot than maybe you would have initially thought? Or do you still kind of look at this part of your career as sort of a developmental stage where you just want to get the experience and get rounds in so that when you do get that title fight, you're more ready now, however long it takes you to get there?
Yeah, man. I'm 23 years old. I'm still developing as a fighter. I know I'm a killer, but I also know that there's killers at 168. So for me, I just want to get 150% prepared for when the time comes. Like I said, I'm 23. I got the world in my hands right now. I'm a hot, young prospect in the world. I got Puerto Rico behind me. And, right now I'm knocking everybody out, man. I just want to enjoy my career. And then eventually we're going to step up those big fights, because that's what eventually I want. I want the big paydays. I want the big fights, and eventually it'll come. But as of right now, we moving at stepping stone, Everything is slowly, Rome wasn't built in a day. So we working and we just crafting, getting my craft better and better each and every day.
Thank you, Carlos. And now I believe, Xavier, you're from Brooklyn. So from your neck of the woods, Edgar, Xavier Porter. Xavier, please go ahead.
What's going on, Edgar? How you feeling, man?
Oh, what's up, man? How you doing?
Xavier. Salute. Yeah, salute,
How are
salute.
you, brother?
Big Dave, salute. How you feeling, brother?
I got a killer here, right?
Facts, all day, every day.
And we got 12 rounds in us.
Hey, you got a whole lot more. You can go 15 if you need to, you know what I mean?
That's right.
So my question to you, Edgar, you got the whole city, brother. You got, like you just mentioned, you got the whole Puerto Rico behind you. You got the whole city. My question to you is, this fight particularly with Lionel Bellows, everybody is, on paper is saying this might be your toughest fight. Can you share on, your opponent as well as your training and your readiness to take over the division, whether it be at 168, if you can make 160 or even 175. Because my guy, you are killing it out here in the streets. You know what I mean?
They always, the last fight they said that was my toughest opponent to date, and you seen what happened. Like I said, like I tell everybody, I don't cut no corners, man, in that gym. Because when you cut corners, you're gonna have to pay for it under them lights. And I've seen fighters cut corners, don't do a full camp, just cutting corners, man, during camp, and it shows in the ring, when the lights go on. So, You know, that's my biggest fear, man, is to be unprepared for a fight. So that's why I take my craft very serious. I take the sport very serious, you know, to continue to build myself. And each and every fight, I get better in the gym. You know, I spar better opponents, you know, and I just put in a lot of work, man. And obviously it shows the day of fight night.
Thank you, Xavier. Marcus Vegas, you're next.
Edgar, man, I hope you're doing well. You know, you have a knockout streak now, and there's this growing expectation from fans that every time you step in the ring, you're supposed to provide a spectacular a knockout. You know, I could see that. And I've seen it in the past with other fighters that it develops some sort of pressure on them. How do you navigate that, the expectation that once you step in the ring, you got to knock that guy out? And how do you handle that expectation and pressure?
It's no pressure. There's no pressure whatsoever. The people's gonna talk. I let the people talk. Oh, we need a first round, or oh, can he go past the first round? I let them talk. That's what they're there for. You know, the critics, the media, everybody. You know, you guys. You know, that's what you guys. That's boxing. And like I said, I just focus on myself and focus on the game plan, and I execute the game plan. You know, I never go in there. Obviously, I go in there looking to hurt the guy, yeah, because I don't want him to hurt me. I'd rather hurt him before he hurts me. And I always had that mindset since I've been a pro. You know, and you know, like, man, it's just there's no pressure, man. Like, I go in that ring every fight. I go in the ring knowing that if we got to go those rounds, we're gonna go those rounds. And the last fight, you know, I even thought, I said, oh, probably I'm gonna go a couple rounds with this guy. You know, I thought he was gonna take me a couple rounds, but you see what happened, man. He had to pay for his mistakes.
You know, there's a lot of attention on you now, a lot of newfound fame. How are you handling that attention and all that?
It comes with the territory. I've seen it happen with a whole bunch of fighters, you know, the greats, you know, Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson, all these guys. You know, everybody want to be next to a winner. Especially a young kid at my age, 23 years old, that's Puerto Rican, you know, from Brooklyn, from Lower East Side, from New York City, and that's knocking everything out in the first round. So it's bound to happen that everybody's going to want to get next to me, man. So I know that in my mind that I got to just continue to win and, you know, continue to just execute the game plan, man, and just be the best I could be.
Thank you very much, Marcos. And while I scroll, we will go ahead, Ernesto Amador. Ernesto, you're unmuted. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Ivan. Hello, Edgar. It's always nice to talking to you. You have Puerto Rico behind you. You are doing a great career, but sooner or later, you need to fight against a big Mexican name. We're talking about Canelo, of course, Benavides. Could you imagine these big fights? Because I can imagine another great rivalry like Mexico and Puerto Rico.
Yeah. I've been talking about the Canelo fight for about a couple months already. And I know it's going to happen. It's got to happen. You know, if I continue to win in beautiful fashion and just keep doing what I do best, man, I know that fight is going to happen. For me and Canelo Alvarez, you know, he's Mexican, I'm Puerto Rico. He has a big country behind him. I have a big country behind me. And like you said, is one of the biggest rivalries in boxing today. And you know, Benavides is another guy that I'm looking forward to stepping in the ring with eventually in the future. You know, it's just boxing, man, and these fights gotta happen. You know, it's good for the sport. It's good for the culture.
Edgar, but what can you tell to the people that mentioned that you are not ready, not even for Canelo or Benavides? What can you tell?
No, different level. No, I know for a fact that if I was to step in the ring with them now, I'd give them problems, you know. But right now, it's just a stepping stone. Like I said, you know, I gotta prove myself. I know I gotta prove myself in order to step in that ring with them because they had to pay their dues. You know, they had to fight the best to get to where they at. And that goes for me too. I have to fight the best to get to where they at. And eventually the fight is gonna happen.
Thank you very much. And now we will go ahead to Adriana Jimenez. You should be unmuted, Adriana. So please go ahead when ready.
Edgar, how you doing? I'm just going to kind of piggyback off that question because I wanted to see what your dream match was. And you kind of mentioned the names that I had in mind with Benavidez, with Canelo. So moving up in the ranks rather quickly, where do you see yourself, or where do you rank yourself then?
Right now?
Yeah.
I know I'm one of the hottest prospects in the country right now. You know, I'm 14-0 with 14 knockouts, all in the first round. They keep trying to step up the opponents little by little, and I'm still knocking them down. I'm a young superstar. You know, I got the image, I got the charisma, I can fight. I'm knocking everything out, and I got a country behind me. So, you know, what more can I say?
So is the fight that from the fights that you mentioned with the
Adriana, sorry. Ask your question again. You
okay.
actually muted yourself.
No worries. From the fights that we just mentioned, is the Canelo fight the dream match for you?
Oh yeah, of course. You know, that's a fight that's gonna happen. It's gotta happen. He knows it. The world is gonna know it. You know, his country's gonna know it. My country's gonna know it. You know, it's a fight to be made, God willing, in the future. You know, like I said, I just gotta keep proving myself, keep knocking them down, and you know, the fight will happen eventually.
Thank you very much, Adriana. We have a few more questions for Edgar because, as you can see, he is in the gym. So he's got a couple more shakeouts before he flies out here to Las Vegas. Now we move to Jeremy Harridges. Jeremy, please go ahead when ready, sir.
Hi, Edgar. I'm curious. During your time as an amateur, obviously you had a lot of success, national championships and so on. As an amateur, did you feel that once you got to the pro game that your punches would have the type of power that they've obviously had?
Yeah, my first pro fight, I remember it was in Mexico, and I knocked the dude out so fast, man, and I was like, holy crap. I was just lost. Like, I walked back to the corner and I seen the ref like waving it off. I'm like, damn, so fast? I didn't really know. I'm like, do I really hit this hard? Then the second fight, again, a couple minutes into the first round, knocked the guy out. Like, wait, hold on. Do I really hit hard? Third fight comes, again, put the guy out. I'm like, oh, yeah, nah. This is different. You know, and then eventually in sparring, I'll knock guys out in sparring. And it was like, holy crap, like, no, I'm really hitting hard. And people would just tell me like, yo, you're only 18 years old. Just imagine when you hit 23, 24, 25, how when your man strength comes in, it's going to be ridiculous. And look, I'm here today, still knocking them out.
Talking about the source.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, talking about the source of your power, is it a combination of the transition from the amateurs to the pros and now being a pro, it's just your style fits better? Or is it also the fact that you are starting to get that manpower, a little bit of both?
Yeah, it was a transition. You know, the amateurs was real about points and how many punches you throw. And, you know, it's only 3 rounds, 3 minutes. And then, you know, you come into the pros and it's like everything slows down completely. You know, there's a lot of more thinking. It's chess, not checkers, you know. There's a lot more thinking, man. There's a lot more setting up punches, you know. It's a 12-round fight. You know, eventually you're going to get to that 12-round fight. So it's just a lot different, man, than amateurs.
All right. Thank you very much. And a couple more left. So we'll go back to Mark Wicker, please.
You talked about how surprised you were when you had those early first round knockouts in your first few fights. Are there times when the fights end so quickly that you still have a lot of pent up energy and you feel like, you know, sparring even after the fight or running around just to burn it off?
Say it again.
You talked about how difficult, about how surprised you were the first few fights because they ended so quickly. When you have these quick knockouts, or sometimes do you feel like you still have a lot of pent up energy that you have to go burn off all of a sudden?
Nah, because people forget, you know, they say, oh, you knocked the guy in the first round, man. But it's like they don't see what's happening behind closed doors in the gym and sparring. You know, all the rounds that I'm putting in sparring and in the gym and strength conditioning, you know, I put a lot of wear and tear on my body, you know, so I take about like 2 weeks off, man, you know, and just enjoy myself, you know, enjoy my family, you know, rest my body, and then I'm right back in the gym.
Thank you very much, Mark. And before we head out, Edgar, I think you're coming to Vegas tomorrow. Just final thoughts on, sort of the rise you've had this year and what the fans can expect from you come Saturday night.
Like always, man, expect fireworks. I'm an exciting fighter. I'm a boxer puncher. So, I just need the fans to tune in October 17th, man. Get your popcorn ready. Get your fight parties ready back at home. It's on ESPN, Las Vegas, Nevada, MGM Grand. And, just stay tuned, man. There's going to be fireworks. It's going to be a big night, a big fight card, and it's going to be an amazing night. And just tune in, like I said. And, I'm dedicating this fight to all the ladies out there that's suffering from breast cancer. This fight is going to be dedicated to them. So I just need everybody to tune in.
Thank you so much for joining us, Edgar. This concludes the undercard and co-feature portion of the Lomachenko Lopez conference call.